The stage is set for Prime Minister Modi's historic tour of America. Drumming up the mega Modi show, top ministers from both countries kicked off bilateral talks on a wide range of issues from trade to technology and from power to pharma. US Secretary of State John Kerry said the economic partnership between the two countries is getting stronger by the day and Modi's visit will only bolster ties. India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj said India can offer a plethora of opportunities to US companies in the fields of technology and manufacturing. The US government says there is scope for a five-fold jump in Indo-US trade. Washington will now hold select USA roadshows in India next week in a bid to bring private sector players from both countries on the same platform.
Well, that's right. India's Commerce Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, meanwhile, has said the two countries have set a new trade target of $500 billion that will be achieved over the next few years. In the same breath, she's also highlighted the procedural hassles Indian pharma companies are facing in the United States, and regulators from both countries should hold parleys to facilitate a better trade flow. You also had Tata Group Chairman Cyrus Mistry, who is representing India Inc., saying that it is important for both countries to set up an institutional framework to try and remove the glitches. The countdown to Prime Minister Modi's US visit is our big story tonight.
Building on the progress that we have already made in the field of sustainable energy, the environment, curbing greenhouse gas emissions. And we've made a good start, but we have to do more within and beyond our boundaries to drive home the urgency of growing economically in ways that are green and clean. And what is clear to everybody is that the choices that one makes in order to grow green and clean do not mean a choice between growth or the environment. Annual trade in goods and services between the United States and India has grown nearly fivefold since the year 2000 to just over $100 billion. And my government agrees with Prime Minister Modi that we can increase that figure to more than $500 billion in the years immediately ahead. Bilateral foreign direct investment stands today at more than $35 billion. It can go much higher.
The narrative and specifics of substantive cooperative agenda and shaped by increasing convergence of strategic interests and mutual concerns, including in the Indian Ocean region and the Asia Pacific. A strong intent to tailor the relationship to harness political synergies and optimize economic complementarities bilaterally, regionally, and globally permeates India's approach to its ties with the United States. We have also sought to view the economic space of bilateral engagement is a crucial component of our strategic relationship. We firmly believe that an economically prosperous and successful India offers a long-term opportunity to the US industry and capital to deepen its mutually beneficial partnership with India through investment in technology and manufacturing. This dialogue provides us the opportunity to assess where we stand in terms of the goals that we had set for ourselves and set new targets and objectives for the future. It is also important that we give ourselves timelines to achieve the targets.
To increase US-India trade five-fold. We simply cannot meet the goal of increasing US-India trade five-fold without the input and perspective of both our private sectors and without laser-like focus across all levels of our two governments to address the impediments we face to doing more business together. And with the initial steps taken by Prime Minister Modi to strengthen India's business climate, our commercial partnership should grow in years to come. Both the Indian and American governments and business communities are focused on our nation's joint priorities, including ease of doing business, infrastructure development, innovation and entrepreneurship, and standards and global supply chains.
The India of today is very different from the India of yesterday, and there is a need for perceptions to change in the way we interact and do business. We are strongly committed to a strategic partnership and fully appreciate the need for the two nations to work together, both on identifying newer areas of cooperation for enhanced economic and commercial engagement, as also for resolving challenges that impede it in a spirit of Chalein Saath Saath, or together we move forward, as envisioned by our two leaders. Our two leaders have agreed to an ambitious new trade target of $500 billion, and we hope to continue to work in close cooperation to resolve impediments to trade and achieve the targets envisaged by our two governments.
Across all of our priorities, the common thread is the need for solutions that catalyze private sector investment. The role of the private sector will be critical to having these technologies deployed to meet our shared aspirations, because the challenges are far too big for governments to take on their own. We heard a determination to address, perhaps with renewed vigor, civil nuclear energy issues, where the private sector still faces considerable obstacles. Those of us in government have the responsibility to provide the policy and regulatory environment so that industry can make the investments to build the sustainable energy infrastructure that we need.
This dialogue is also an affirmation of the fact that both countries have a strong commitment to engage with each other, particularly in the energy sector, and promote greater technological innovation, scientific collaboration, trade, research, development, deploying environment-friendly technologies and products, and promote sound regulatory frameworks to deliver energy solutions for sustainable growth. Our objective is to provide 24/7 power across India by 2019. For this, we need to make our infrastructure more robust, more cost-effective, sustainable, and inclusive of clean energy solutions.
Cyrus and his team found that there were 37 separate U.S.-India government groups working in the commercial area. Combining all these into the SNCD will make that work hugely more effective. All that inclusion comes at a very propitious time, given the commitment of PM Modi's government to greatly improve the ease of doing business. In January, Cyrus and I issued a letter of recommendations. What's noteworthy is not the issuance of the recommendations, because we've done that before. The significance is that 8 months after issuance, there is progress in many of the items, with significant ones in defense, tax, and aviation. Now, while there is progress, there could be and should be significantly more.
We have seen significant steps by the Indian government in improving the ease of doing business. Secondly, the two governments signed the 2015 framework for the India-US defense relationship, recognizing the transformative nature of the Defense Technology and Trade Initiative. Thirdly, the two governments have established the US-India Science and Technology Endowment Fund to promote joint R&D leading to innovation, entrepreneurship, and commercialization for social impact. Fourthly, the two governments have signed a framework agreement under the Mutual Agreement Procedure provision in the India-US Double Taxation Avoidance Convention that opens up the door for signing bilateral advanced pricing agreements.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.